All right, everyone, welcome. My name is Peter Waitzman, and I'm a personal financial counselor here to help you navigate the financial side of military life. Think of me as your money translator. I take the confusing financial stuff and turn it into something that actually makes some sense. Now, I know what you're thinking, another PowerPoint about money, but here's the thing. You're here because life just threw you or your family a curveball. Maybe you're dealing with a whole new medical diagnosis, or you've got a family member enrolled in EFMP. And suddenly, there's a whole bunch of financial stuff you need to figure out on top of everything else you're dealing with. So today, we're going to tackle this together. We're covering 8 topics: financial planning, insurance, military retirement, education planning, estate planning, caring for aging parents, military consumer protection, and resources. This is going to take a few minutes, but I promise to make it worth it. We're going to focus on the stuff that actually matters and skip the fluff. Let's jump right in with financial planning. Now, before your eyes glaze over, hear me out. I know talking about money can be about as fun as a root canal, but it can also be incredibly helpful, especially right now. Here's the deal. When you or a family member experiences a disabling sickness or condition, your financial situation can change overnight. And I'm not talking about medical bills, though those are definitely part of it. I'm talking about everything from potential loss of income to new expenses you never planned for. The good news? Being informed does 2 huge things. First, it helps you understand what challenges you might face. And second, and this is the big one, it helps you make better decisions. You can't make good choices if you don't know what your options are, right? So, we're going to follow along with a checklist throughout this training. You've got one in your handout packet. Think of it as your financial roadmap through this situation. Now, I want you to do something for me. Take a second and write down one word, just one, that describes how you're feeling about your situation right now. Don't overthink it, just write it down. We'll come back to this later. And I'm betting some of those words are going to change by the end of our time together. All right, spending plan time. And yes, I said spending plan, not budget, because let's be honest, budget sounds like punishment. A spending plan is just telling your money where you want to go instead of wondering where it went. Here's how we'll do this in 4 simple steps. Step 1. Understand your current situation. You need to know where your money is actually going right now. Not where you think it's going, not where you wish it was going, where it's really going. Track every single dollar for the next 30 days. And yes, that includes that energy drink that you grabbed at the gate and the pizza you ordered at 11 p.m., everything. You can use pen and paper, a spreadsheet, your phone, whatever works. The method doesn't really matter. The tracking does. Step 2. Know where your money should go. There are some general rules that financial experts suggest, and they're actually reasonably helpful. Save or invest 10 to 15% of your pre-tax pay. Keep transportation costs, like your car payment, insurance, gas, and maintenance, to 15 to 20% of your pre-tax pay. And your housing expenses should be limited to your BAH or 25% of your pre-tax pay. Now, these are just guidelines, not laws. Your situation might be different, and that's okay. Step 3, create a plan. Now that you know where your money goes and where it should go, it's time to make a plan. Start by paying yourself first. Set up automatic transfers to savings so you never even see that money. Out of sight, out of mind, into your savings account. And here's the real talk. Think about what's going to trip you up. What are your spending weaknesses? Late night Amazon shopping, Uber Eats, whatever it is, acknowledge it now so you can plan for it. And step 4, make adjustments. Life changes and your spending plan needs to change with it. So maybe you're dealing with a loss of income because someone needs to be a caregiver. Maybe there are new expenses for medical equipment, therapies, or traveling to appointments. Your plan needs to reflect your actual life, not some fantasy version. We've got a spending plan worksheet in your handout packet. There's also a digital version at financialfrontline.org if you're more tech savvy. And if you need help with this, which, let's be honest, most people do, that's literally what I'm here for. Come see me at the Family Support Center and we'll figure it out together. If you're having trouble sticking to your plan even after you've made it, check out the R2 Performance Center. They have coaches who can help you with the mental game of managing money, because sometimes the issue isn't the math, it's the motivation. All right, let's talk about housing and transportation, because these are often the biggest expenses you'll have, and they might need to change now. Ask yourself some questions. Do you need to modify your home for wheelchair accessibility? Are you looking at long-term care facilities? Do you need a different vehicle that can accommodate medical equipment or mobility devices? If you're in installation housing or thinking about moving there, start with the installation housing office. Some families enrolled in EFMP actually get priority placement, which is huge. If you're renting off base, make absolutely sure your lease has a military clause. That's your get out of jail free card if you need to move. Thinking about buying a house or a new vehicle? Pump the brakes for a second and prepare financially first. We've got handouts on major purchases and the 5 rules of buying a house. Read them, or better yet, come see me before you sign anything. We'll make sure you're ready for that commitment. Now, if you're thinking about growing your family or you already have a child with special needs, there are some financial realities that we need to address. I know it's not the most comfortable conversation, but it's important. Raising a child with a disability comes with additional costs, educational support, after-school care, specialized programs. It all adds up. And you need to think long-term. Will your child be able to attend post-secondary education? Will they be able to work? Will they live independently? The good news is there's help available. There are grants, state programs, military programs, and federal programs. You just need to know where to look. And again, that's where folks like me come in. One critical thing, you need to legally identify someone as a conservator and guardian for your child with backup successors, because life is unpredictable and you want to make sure that your child is taken care of no matter what. This is super important, so pay attention. Many government benefits have strict income and asset limits. If you exceed those limits, you can lose the benefits. This means a well-meaning grandparent who leaves money to your special needs child in their will could accidentally disqualify them for Social Security or Medicaid. That's why you need to work with a lawyer who specializes in special needs planning. The rules are strict and complicated, and you don't want to mess this up. Some tools that might be able to help: ABLE accounts, special needs trusts, HSAs, and FSAs. We'll talk more about ABLE accounts in a minute. An ABLE account is like a 529 college savings plan, but for disability expenses. The big advantage? Distributions won't impact SSI or Medicaid benefits if you set it up correctly. You can use ABLE account money for qualified disability expenses, basically anything that maintains or improves health, independence, or quality of life. But there are rules. The account has to be established before the beneficiary turns 26, and there are limits on contributions and total account balance. For more information, check out ssa.gov and search for ABLE accounts. Let's talk about emergency funds, because Murphy's Law is real, and if something can go wrong, it probably will. An emergency fund is your financial cushion. It's what keeps you from going into debt when unexpected expenses pop up, and they will pop up. Aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses, but honestly, if you can just start with $1,000, that's a win. Keep this money in a savings account where you can get to it easily without penalties. Don't invest it in stocks or crypto, or your buddies can't miss business opportunity. This is your emergency money, not your gambling money. And remember to account for those new expenses you might have: medical equipment, therapy copays, travel to appointments. Your emergency fund might need to be bigger than it used to be. And if you've had to tap into your emergency fund, make a plan to rebuild it as soon as possible. And if you're really struggling, check out the Army Emergency Relief at armyemergencyrelief.org or the Red Cross Military Financial Assistance Program. Now, let's talk about potential income sources if you or a family member becomes disabled. If you're separating from the military due to a disability, you need to file a VA disability claim. Start by scheduling an appointment with the Veterans Service Organization. There are several good ones. You'll need your complete medical records and a bunch of other documents. Fair warning, the process takes time. Start early, be patient, and follow up regularly. For more info, check out the Transition Assistance Program at sfl-tap.army.mil and va.gov/disability. Social Security Disability Income, SSDI, pays benefits if you've worked long enough, paid Social Security taxes, and have a medical condition that prevents you from working for at least 12 months or will result in death. Visit ssa.gov/benefits/disability for more details. SSI is different than SSDI. It's for disabled adults and children with limited income and resources. The key word here is limited. If you have too much income or too many assets, you can lose SSI and potentially Medicaid too. This is why special needs trusts and ABLE accounts are so important. They can help protect benefits. For more on SSI, visit ssa.gov and search for SSI. Also, check out the My Army Benefits Disability Calculator. It can help you estimate what benefits you might be eligible for. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, taxes. I'm just kidding. Nobody likes taxes, including this guy, but we still need to deal with them. Anytime your family situation changes, you should review your taxes. The IRS has a tax withholding estimator at irs.gov that can help you figure out if you need to adjust your withholdings. If you do, you can make changes at mypay.dfas.mil. Here's something important. If you're leaving the military, your tax situation is about to change significantly. Military pay has some tax advantages. BAH and BAS aren't taxed, for example. Civilian pay doesn't work the same way, so plan accordingly. The good news? There are tax credits and deductions that might help. The Child and Dependent Care Credit, credits for adopting a child with special needs, and the ability to claim a disabled dependent at any age regardless of their income. If you're making home modifications or paying out-of-pocket medical expenses, keep those receipts. You might be able to deduct them. See IRS Publication 502 for details, but honestly, talk to a tax pro about this. You can get free tax help from your installation's VITA office, Military One Source's Mill Tax Program, or come see me at the Financial Support Center. We might be able to get you the answer. Now, it's time for insurance, and before you zone out, remember, insurance is literally a corporation or government promising to have your back when things go wrong, so it's actually pretty important. First things first, verify and update all your dependents in TRICARE or TRICARE Reserve Select as soon as possible. We've got a TRICARE overview handout in your packet that breaks down the different plans. Here's the key difference between TRICARE Prime and Select. Prime is like an HMO. You have a primary care manager, you need referrals, and it's usually cheaper. Select is like a PPO. There's more flexibility, more choices, but potentially more out-of-pocket costs. For EFMP families and others with special needs, Select often makes more sense because you can see specialists without waiting for referrals, and you have more provider options. Yes, there are fees, but they're capped annually. Both Prime and Select require annual enrollment during open season, November to December, or within 90 days of a qualifying life event. If you have a civilian insurance program through your employer, compare it against TRICARE. Look at the deductibles, copays, prescription coverage, and network restrictions. If your spouse is leaving their job and losing civilian insurance, notify TRICARE immediately so they become your primary insurance. All right, let's talk about ECHO, Extended Care Health Option. It provides financial assistance for beneficiaries with special needs. You must be enrolled in EFMP and register with your TRICARE regional case manager. This is only available for active duty and activated Guard Reserve members. Also, enroll in any federal and state programs you're eligible for, Medicare, Medicaid, whatever's available. More coverage means lower out-of-pocket costs. And don't forget about vision and dental care. TRICARE has vision coverage options at tricare.mil/covered services/vision. For dental, the TRICARE dental program has monthly premiums and copays, but it's usually worth it. Check tricare.mil/dental for details. Guard and Reserve folks should compare available programs carefully. One heads up, TRICARE dental ends when you leave active duty. The VA might cover service-connected dental conditions for you, but family members will need private insurance. Also, review your homeowners, renters, and auto insurance policies. Tell your insurer about any home modifications you've made and any vehicle changes. Make sure your coverage is adequate for your new situation. The Exceptional Family Member Program is a comprehensive resource for military families with special needs. About 9% of Army families have family members with special needs, spouses, children, or dependent parents who need specialized medical or educational services. If you have a family member with special needs, you're required by Army Regulation 608-75 to report it and enroll in EFMP. This isn't punishment, it's actually to help you. EFMP coordinates medical, educational, housing, and community support services. Visit your EFMP coordinator at your medical treatment facility or family support center. They can connect you with resources and help you navigate the system. For EFMP families who need outside specialists, Check tricare.mil/life events and tricare.mil/open season. Here's something important. You need to keep your EFMP enrollment current. Update it whenever your family member's condition changes, or at least every 3 years, whichever comes first. All right, EFMP Respite Care is a free temporary care that gives family caregivers a break, because caregiver burnout is real and you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first. Respite care can be provided in your home or other settings like camps and programs. Contact your local EFMP Family Support Office to learn how to apply. If you have people who depend on your income, or if you want to leave money for someone, you need life insurance, period. You're automatically covered for $400,000 unless you decline coverage or choose less. This is a really good deal, by the way. SGLI rates are excellent compared to civilian life insurance. TSGLI provides short-term financial support if you experience a traumatic injury while serving. You're automatically covered if you have SGLI, and it even covers off-duty injuries. You have to apply for payment using Form SGLV 8600. Check va.gov for details. Listen up carefully. Your SGLI beneficiaries don't automatically change when your life situation changes. If you got married but didn't update your SGLI and something happens to you, the money goes to whoever's currently listed, probably your parents. Update your beneficiaries after every major life event. You can do this through the SGLI Online Enrollment System, SOES, at dmdc.osd.mil/milconnect. It takes like 5 minutes, so do it right now. Your children are automatically covered for $10,000 each at no cost once they're in DEERS. Spousal coverage is available up to $100,000 for a small premium based on your spouse's age. Spousal coverage can't exceed your own SGLI coverage. And when you leave the military, you can convert your SGLI to VGLI if you're within 1 year and 120 days of release from active duty. You can get up to the same coverage amount you had with SGLI. Check va.gov/life-insurance for details. If you need more coverage than SGLI or VGLI provides, you can buy private insurance. The main types are term life, which covers you for a set period of time, or permanent life, which covers you for your whole life. Research them carefully, understand the costs and benefits, and make sure the premiums fit your budget. And please talk to a financial counselor before you buy. There are a lot of terrible life insurance salespeople out there who will sell you way more than you need. So, how much life insurance do you actually need? Here's a simple method using the LIFE acronym. L, liabilities, debt that you want paid off, like your mortgage, car loans, credit cards. I, income to be replaced, your annual income times the number of years that you want to replace it. F, funeral and final expenses. What do you want to set aside for your final expenses? And E, education and other goals, money for education, charitable giving, etc. Add all of these up and then compare them to your current coverage, plus any assets or survivor benefits that you have. The gap is what you need to fill. There's a VA life insurance needs calculator at insurance.va.gov/needs calculator that can help you with this. Or come see me, I can walk you through it too. And remember, there are government survivor benefits we need to talk about in a little bit that factor into this calculation. Retirement planning. I know, retirement seems like it's far away when you're dealing with everything right now, but hear me out. You've got handouts on the military retirement and the thrift savings plan in your packet. Let's hit the highlights. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the better. Here's why. Compound growth over time is powerful. Life is unpredictable. You're living proof of that right now. And the more time you have, the more money you can accumulate. There are different retirement systems depending on when you joined. High 3 or High 36, or the blended retirement system, BRS. Take a minute and figure out which one applies to you using the military retirement handout. If you're under BRS, contribute at least 5% to the TSP to get the full government match. That's free money. Don't leave money on the table. The Thrift Savings Plan handout explains how TSP works and what funds are available. If you're not contributing yet, start now. Even if it's just 1% to begin with, start now. For EFMP families, retirement planning has extra considerations. Does your new location have care services you need? What state benefits are available when you're moving? Will your child be able to live independently? And if not, what are the alternatives? And can you manage on one income, or do you need two? Your local EFMP Family Support System navigators can help with these questions. They'll do a family needs assessment and create an individual services plan to figure out what care you'll need after leaving the military. They can also help with transitions like retirement, separation, moving to Title 32 status, or PCS. All right, education planning, whether it's for you, your kids, or retraining yourself, it can be a big deal. If you're separating due to disability, you might be eligible for Veterans Readiness and Employment, formerly vocational rehab, or other VA programs depending on your disability rating. Talk to a VA rep for details. Your family support center can point you in the right direction. There might also be state education programs offering discounted or free tuition for you or your family. Again, Family Support Center here is your friend. If you're staying in, there are tons of programs available. Apprenticeship and credentialing programs, tuition assistance, and GI bills, including the post 9/11 GI Bill, which you can transfer to family members if you meet certain conditions. The Education Benefits and Savings Handout covers all of this. For saving for college, you choose 529 college savings plans. They're the most popular. Prepaid tuition plans, Coverdell educational savings plans, UTMA or UGMA accounts, and regular investment accounts. Each has pros and cons. Come talk to me if you want to compare them for your situation. If you or your family members already have student loans, keep paying them. Student loan debt can seriously hold you back from other financial goals. The Paying Off Student Loans handout explains repayment options, including income-driven repayment plans and potential loan forgiveness programs. Here's something important. Federal student loans might be dischargeable if you can't work in your degree field or can't work at all due to disability. Check studentaid.gov/manage-loans/forgiveness-cancellation/disability-discharge for details. There's an education directory for children with special needs with two components: Early Intervention Directory, birth to age 3, and School Age Directory, ages 3 to 21. Both provide tools and resources to help with transitions to new locations, including information on local service providers and school districts. The Department of Education's Parent Center Hub at parentcenterhub.org has great resources for parents of kids with special needs, so check it out. If your spouse is having trouble finding or keeping employment due to relocations and licensing issues, there's help. The Army will reimburse qualified relicensing costs when you PCS to a new state. Your spouse might also qualify for the My Career Advancement Account, My CAA scholarship, up to $4,000 for education and training. Visit mycaa.militaryonesource.mil for info. Now, estate planning means making sure that your wishes are carried out after you're gone. It's not fun to think about, but it's necessary, especially if you have family members with special needs. You will need these legal documents: a will, a durable power of attorney, healthcare directive, medical power of attorney, and a letter of instruction. Your installation's legal office can help you with all of these for free. Don't put this off. If you have family members with special needs, you need to be able to work with a lawyer who specializes in special needs planning. You might need special needs trusts or ABLE accounts to protect government benefits. There's a special needs organizational record you can complete at Military OneSource. Search for it on their website. And here's a critical point. Once your special needs child turns 18, you need either a power of attorney, if they're capable of granting one, or a court-ordered guardianship. Without one of these, you can't access their medical or financial information or make decisions for them. And here's the kicker. Guardianship is a state function. If you move to another state, you might have to register it or start all over. A will or trust ensures your assets go where you want them to go. For special needs families, you should seriously consider a special needs provision in your will or trust. A special needs trust holds money for your beneficiary and provides for needs beyond what government programs cover. The trustee manages the money and uses it for things like medical care, equipment, education, transportation, and anything else that improves the quality of life without disqualifying the beneficiary from public benefits. This is complex stuff. Your installation legal office can help, and if your situation is really complicated, they can refer you to the American Bar Association's Military Pro Bono Project for special assistance. If you're caring for a disabled family member, you need a mandatory family care plan. This tells designated caregivers how to take care of your family member if you deploy or go TDY. Make sure your designated caretaker has all the necessary legal paperwork, power of attorney, guardianship, whatever's needed. Check militaryOneSource.mil and search for Family Care Plan for more info. All right, let's talk about survivor benefits. What's available to your family if something happens to you while you're serving? If you die while on active duty, your family gets assigned a casualty assistance officer who will walk them through everything, but you should know what benefits exist. The death gratuity is an immediate tax-free payment of $100,000 to eligible survivors. Same amount regardless of how you die, usually paid within 72 hours. You designate beneficiaries on DD Form 93, and you can split it among multiple people if you want. Here's something important. The death gratuity payout supersedes your will. SBP, Survivor Benefit Plan, is usually discussed at retirement. But if you die on active duty, your spouse and/or children might be eligible. Benefits are calculated as if you retired with 100% disability. It used to be that SBP was reduced dollar for dollar if your spouse qualified for Dependency and Indemnity Compensation, DIC. The good news is, as of January 1st, 2023, that offset is eliminated. Survivors get both SBP and DIC in full. One more thing. If a dependent child is designated as disabled before age 18 or 22 if in school, they receive SBP for life with no age restrictions. This is huge for special needs families. SBP has tons of rules we don't have time to cover. So check myarmybenefits.us.army.mil and search for SBP for more details. DIC, Dependency and Indemnity Compensation, is a tax-free benefit for surviving spouses, children, or parents of service members who died on active duty or veterans who died from service-connected disabilities. Check va.gov for current rates. Surviving spouses and dependents might qualify for the Survivors and Dependents Educational Assistance DEA program or the FRI Scholarship. The DEA program is for dependents of service members who die on active duty or veterans disabled or killed due to service. The FRI Scholarship is specifically for families of service members who died in the line of duty after 9/11. Visit va.gov/education/survivor-dependent-benefits for details. The HEART Act provides tax and pension benefits to service members disabled on active duty for more than 30 days and to survivors if they die on active duty. Check myarmybenefits.us.army.mil for more info. Social Security pays a $255 lump sum plus monthly payments to qualifying spouses and children. Payments continue until the youngest child turns 18 in most cases, and spouses can apply for widow benefits as early as age 60. Set up a Social Security account at ssa.gov to see what future benefits look like. There's a survivor benefits calculator at myarmybenefits.us.army.mil that pulls your actual information and shows you what your family would receive. Run this what-if scenario, print it out, put it somewhere safe, share it with your family so they know what to expect. I'm going to say this one more time because it's so important. Update your beneficiaries at every major life event. DD Form 93 for death gratuity, SOES for SGLI, TSP3 for your thrift savings plan, update them all. Also, update beneficiaries on any civilian retirement accounts like your 401ks, IRAs, everything. If you don't designate beneficiaries, payouts follow the statutory order of precedent: spouse, children, parents, executor, etc. If you designate someone that didn't update it, the money goes to whoever's listed, even if that's your ex or your parents instead of your current spouse. These designations supersede your will. Your will can say one thing, but if your beneficiary forms say something else, the form wins. Also, review home and vehicle ownership documents to clarify right of survivorship according to your state laws. This makes it easier for survivors to inherit. Also, let's talk about taking care of aging parents. It brings a whole different set of challenges and decisions. What are your parents' options? In-home care, assisted living, nursing home, or living with family? Each has different costs and benefits. Talk to your parents about what they need and want. If you're providing most of their financial support and they're living with you, consider making them a dependent. You'll need DD 137-3, verification of their income, proof of support, a secondary dependency application, and DD 1172-2. Warning: this process can take up to 2 years, so talk to your legal office for help navigating it. A power of attorney lets you make decisions for your parents if they become incapacitated. Healthcare decisions, financial transactions, legal documents, everything. If your parent loses capacity before establishing a POA, you'll need court-ordered guardianship, which is more complicated and expensive. If your parents are dependents, they can enroll in TRICARE Plus for a monthly fee. This might be good as primary insurance or as a secondary coverage. Depending on their age, they should enroll in Medicare and consider taking Social Security benefits. Medicare is complicated, parts A, B, C, and D, and many senior centers have experts who can explain it. If they're not old enough for Medicare, enroll them in any state medical programs they qualify for. And if they haven't applied for SSDI, it might be beneficial, especially if they're not eligible yet for regular Social Security. Here's the last topic: protecting yourself from scams, fraud, and predatory practices. You need to know your rights under the Service Members Civil Relief Act, SCRA, and the Military Lending Act, MLA. Your legal office can explain both. Get credit reports for yourself, your spouse, and your kids. Yes, kids. Children are prime targets for identity thieves who can use their identities for years before anyone even notices. Visit annualcreditreport.com for free reports from all 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Do this annually. You can request a credit freeze for your kids to protect them. If you think you or a dependent is a victim of identity theft, go to identitytheft.gov for guidance. Dealing with a disability situation means dealing with more creditors, which increases your exposure to billing errors and fraud, so stay vigilant. Come see me at the Family Support Center if you need help understanding your credit report or improving your score. All right, we covered a ton today. Let me hear from a few of you. What were your main takeaways from this course? So let's summarize. We talked about financial planning to improve your situation and account for changes, insurance benefits and considerations, your military retirement benefits, planning and paying for education, estate planning and necessary documents, taking care of aging parents, military consumer protections, and resources available to help you. Your handouts and checklist are valuable resources, so actually use them. Keep them somewhere where you can find them. And here's what I want you to do right now. Write down or think about what your most pressing concerns are or your to-do items. Pick one specific first step that you're going to take. And start small and prioritize based on what's most important and actually in your control. Remember, you're not alone. You've got layers of support. You can click for help at financialfrontline.org. You can call Military OneSource at 1-800-342-9647. Or you can come see me or your personal financial counselor at the Family Support Center. So, thank you for your time and attention today. I know you've got a lot on your plate, and I genuinely hope this information helps you and your family navigate the situation with a little bit more confidence and a lot less stress. I'm Peter Waitzman, and I'm here at the Family Support Center if you need me. Whether you want to review finances, create a spending plan, figure out how much life insurance you need, we can talk through all of your options. That's what I'm here for. So don't hesitate to reach out. It's not just a nice thing to say. Me and all the personal financial counselors mean it. So take care of yourselves, and thank you for your service.